You guys ever heard of Nike, right? Nike shoes, Nike apparel, anything like that? Does anybody know what their logo is? Swoosh. Swoosh? What's their catchphrase?
Just do it.
Just do what?
It.
What's it? What is anything? Just think about it. In that question right there, what is it? Right? I mean, has anybody else asked themselves that question? Let me put it in different terms. What is it? What are we supposed to do as Christians? What is it? We're supposed to do something. What's that? Spread the gospel. Okay, spread the gospel. What else? Love.
Pray.
Pray. Just do it. Dash. Because I had to ask myself this tough question of what is it we're supposed to be doing? What is this whole thing come to? What is the whole church supposed to be about? What are we really supposed to do? And what is a Christian supposed to look like? Because we have. Are you reading the notes? I'm going to cover them up now.
No, I was just listening to the Holy Spirit.
I'm taking my stuff over here now. You guys want to play fair. So you got the point of that first one. So we're going to skip to the next one. Thank you for actually doing that. I needed somebody to do it. So pull out a piece of paper and a pencil that's right in front of you. Everybody do it. It's okay. I even have my handy dandy one here. Most of them don't write. If you have to, share with your neighbor. That's actually here. So will you please put on the left side of any piece of paper, put the year you were born.
Tell the truth.
And you are in the house of God. Tell the truth. Put here, cover it up if you need to. It's nobody else's business. Then I want you to put a line, like a dash. And then after that, I want you to put 20, underline, underline.
The number
20, underline, underline. So it should look like something like mine would say 1980-20 blank, blank, blank. I just told you how old I am. You already know that. Okay, everybody see it? I want to know how many of you guys could ever control the day you were born. Anybody here be able to do that? No. Is there anybody here who can control the year they're going to die? No. Then let's get to this question. What is life about? What is it about? The dash. Right? You guys might have even heard a sermon on in a funeral about the dash in somebody's life or what they were about. But I really want to get the concept that there's so much more to this life than what we actually put into it. Because our birthday, our birth year is something we celebrate, right? Y'all like cake? Got cake and ice cream and stuff. Right? What do you get for your birthday then? He probably gets a wonderful pie or something. But then when we do a funeral service, what words do I use in a funeral service? This is a celebration of life. Right? And so that just sounds weird. Right? Does it sound weird to anybody else?
Celebration.
Huh? It does kind of. Because if you look at it in a worldly view, it sounds kind of bad. Aren't you supposed to be crying and bad and all upset? Not a Christian view, but a worldly view. Yes. In a funeral, what do we talk about? The person, right? Okay? So this, I'm going to have to say the dash is going to be the thing that we need to worry about and focus on the most, right? Okay, so we can't control the day we're born, we can't control the day we die. We have nothing else. So here's the big question I came up with this week. So do you want to know what God describes your dash and how He describes it for you in the Bible? Do you guys want to understand how He describes your life should be?
Yes.
Okay, so in James chapter 4, verse 14, we're going to define and how He describes your life. And real simply, it reads, why do you not even know what will happen tomorrow? We discussed that. You can't choose the day you end. So what is your life? You are a mist that appears only a little while and then it vanishes. Your life vanishes. You're just a mist. The Psalms go into it. There's several of them. I'm just going to get a couple of them. Says, you have made my days a mere handbreadth. The span of your years, the span of my years is nothing before you. Each man's life is nothing but breath. That's Psalms 39:5. For my days vanish like smoke. Psalms 102:3. The man is like a breath. His days are like a fleeting shadow. Psalms 144:4. Job said, my days are swifter than the weaver's shuttle. My life is just but a breath. You know what the average lifespan on a human being is? You guys does that kind of bring you down a little bit because somebody said that your life's just like a breath? Did it? It did. Yeah, I mean, be real. Because I mean, when I started writing, I'm like, oh, this is kind of awkward. Because we don't fully understand the dash. We don't fully understand what this little moment in all eternity is really going to mean. Because see, as human beings, we get so focused on right here and right now and not eternity. That's where I think we miss our dash. Because when we look at the average human lifespan, it's 25,000 days. That's a lot of days, isn't it? God said it's a breath. It's a vapor. It's a mist. First, we have to realize that life is short, isn't it? Life is really short. This guy named Richard Needleham described the 7 ages of mankind as spills, as a child, drills, thrills, bills, ills, pills, and wills. Isn't that the truth? So I really like that. The one thing that amazes me so much is that the one thing that we're certainty about in life is death, and most of us put a fake facade around it. Most of us really look at this life and say, you know what? I want to accumulate materialistic things. I need the nice car. I need the nice house. I need the best wife, or even some of us, wives. I will never get another wife, ever. I love my wife with all my heart.
Yeah, that's it.
Think about it. We get so caught up in accumulating things in life that we miss things. We miss the lives of our children. We miss the lives of our grandchildren. We miss the lives of the people in the church.
Yeah, you want that frame. Okay.
For the simple fact, what are we scared of? What's the answer? So I have another question for you. What is the number one thing that every woman in this world wants? No woman can answer that. Men, what's the number one thing every woman wants? Okay, everybody, I need you guys at men's Bible study tomorrow night. Women, the number one thing that you all want in some form is security.
Yeah.
Y'all older guys just learn something from a young man. She's trained you well. See, and it's not just for women, but it's for men too. We want security too. We want security financially. We want security for our children. We want security for our grandchildren, right? We want security for ourselves and our spouse if something happens to us. To the point that we're willing to sacrifice those relationships for their security. We're willing to lay down the opportunity to walk in love with them in order to provide something for them instead of what they really need. But then on a personal, most of us, except for me, we obsess about security as a future. We get obsessed about dieting. We get obsessed about what we look like. We chase that. Has anybody else chased certain diets? Anybody ever been on the Atkins diet? Anybody else been on the South Beach diet? Has anybody been on, what's the newest ones? The caveman diet? There's some honesty, it's alright. Think about 1950s. You guys, some of your older folks might know this. Remember the little magic pills that helped you get all the ironing done? The diet pill? What's it called? Something like that? Speed, yes. It's really what it was. That's what it was. In 1950s, a lot of people were taking them to help them get their laundry done. It was the diet pill of their age. It sure did. Because all this we chase for no purpose and no reason. It's all fake. Right? We think it's real, but in all reality, it's fake. Because what happens when you die? What goes with you? Nothing. What happens to your inheritance that you leave to your children? Depends on how they manage their money. I'll say it for everybody, that's actually one of them. What else? All right, did anybody else squander some inheritance on something they really didn't need? I've never got an inheritance, so I didn't squander nothing. Because we have to start taking a look at this, how we do things in two views. There's a secular view and a Christian view. I believe at this point in time we have to make a dividing line down the center and say this is what the Bible teaches and this is what the world teaches. Because no more can there ever be this fakeness about it. There can be no more about this, whatever the world says is correct, but the Bible says something completely different. It can't be the same. Let me put it this way, you can't chase the things of this world and chase God at the same time.
Can't serve two masters.
You can't chase cosmetics and Botox. It's called vanity. Because the secular world views things as saying, here's the young, the beautiful, and all this. This is what it should look like. Go down to Dillon's and walk through the aisle and look at the National Enquirer. I guarantee the first thing on the paper, on the front page, is going to be some actress without their makeup on and without doing some workout or some Photoshop. They look horrible, don't they? We don't want to say they look regular, but have you seen some of these people really without some of their makeup? Kind of, ugh. Come on, y'all did it too. Come on, y'all read the same stuff. Y'all look at it going, I can't believe she really looks like that. If I'm lying, I'm dying, right? Everybody else could be doing that, right? Come on. Let's get real about it. We all go, oh. I know them four do. I ain't gonna lie. Because we all chase this thing called the perfect life. Right? How did you see that? No. You guys know a song by a band called Kansas? It's all dust in the wind. I know I didn't either. I had to look it up. You're a hippie though. So I'm going to read you the chorus where it says, I close my eyes for only a moment, and the moment's gone. All my dreams pass away before my eyes, and curiosity, it's dust in the wind. All they are is dust in the wind. Same old song, just a drop of water in an endless sea. All we do is crumble to the ground, though we refuse to see dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Because those temporal, secular worldviews admire and swarm after celebrities and the perfect life. But all reality is just dust in the wind. That's what the worldview looks at it. And so if you're a Christian and that's what you're seeking, you're walking the wrong direction. You're going the wrong way. Because that's not what the Bible describes.